do radio.
Me? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven,
Hey,
eight, nine,
hey,
10.
hey, hey.
Morning weather. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
Good morning. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise, TGIF. I'm Philip Simon.
And I'm Candy Pinder, filling in for Anastasia Palacios. Top of the morning to you. Thank you for waking up with us.
Oh, absolutely. Welcome back once again. Star is doing her thing. you
She
know,
is
she's-
doing her thing. She is speaking. She is traveling.
She is
She is
flying,
living her
absolutely,
best
making
life.
things
She's being
happen.
a mommy,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
wife, and I just love to see women who are able to just handle their business and balance and do it so
Yeah.
well.
Well, so are you, man.
A little
So
bit.
I'm surprised you were in town this week.
I
But you
know.
guys have been busy.
Yes,
you guys
we've
have
been
been
extremely
busy, yeah.
busy, and last night at Sapodilla was absolutely amazing. Guess what I did? I actually stood by the gate with the security officers, and I welcomed people at the entrance. So we were fully booked. I had a really good time, but I
Yeah.
do leave town today.
Okay, all right. See, I knew
Yeah.
it was coming. I knew it was coming.
But there are exciting things happening this weekend that I wish I was in town for, like the Hardball.
Yes, well, actually, Junior Achievement also has Open House Junior Achievement in Providence has it's like a trade
Yes.
show. So this is where the students get to display all of their wares and sell their products and their services. That's going to be at Ararat Key tomorrow for New Providence, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So we encourage everybody to go there and buy all their stuff.
Yeah, and if you're watching this on Saturday, that's Saturday
That's
at that time. But you know, you have really beautiful shirts and really beautiful products, and I know the bands and everything that people can buy, and we want to encourage corporate Bahamas to support. I know Bamboo
no
Shack
doubt.
is getting a
Yeah,
lot of
that's right.
shirts.
You guys are supporting. Hey, listen, it's 40 years, man. It's 40 years of financial literacy, you know, work readiness. You know, Junior Achievement has just been really a pillar of training here in our country since 1979.
Phil, what gets you up and ready to go in the morning? Is it a good cup of coffee? Because I saw you sipping on some coffee earlier from Lewis and Steen's.
You know what?
And you said that that is your spot, and you are always there.
You know, listen, I'm generally not a coffee drinker, but listen, I can do this all day long. I mean, no, seriously. I mean, those guys. I mean, they've been on the show several times, and of course, they're one of our sponsors as well. But if you haven't been to Lewis and Steen's, you definitely have to go out there and try. You know, they have these Creole and Cajun.
It's the first
It's a first. It's a
in
really
the Bahamas.
beautiful combination that they have going out there on West Bay Street. The scenery is beautiful. The service is always great. You know, love to see these young entrepreneurs just making things happen.
You feel like you're in New Orleans,
actually,
New Orleans, but
yeah.
you're actually in the Bahamas. What's
It's
better?
growing
What's it?
love in every cup. Absolutely.
I love
Timely.
that. So there are a lot of headlines, and I actually attended something that was really exciting on Thursday, which was yesterday, the commissioning of the Bahamas Air
you were at that?
737 Boeing. Yes.
Man, it looked beautiful. I mean,
It's absolutely beautiful. So they flew from China, Captain Edward Patton and First Officer Michael Pinder, and then accompanied by Mr. Prince Store in maintenance.
God forget you, it will always have all the details,
Listen,
man.
it was good, but I liked what the Minister of Tourism said. He just said that they are a good representation
Yeah, yeah.
of just a flag carrier in every sense of the word.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
It
you
was
know,
nice.
I mean, listen, you know, we joke a lot of times about Bahamas Air, but you know, listen, it's ours. They have some of the best pilots in the world.
The best pilots
And,
in the
you know,
world.
so listen, fine, Bahamas Air.
Listen.
But listen, it's also been an interesting week locally. I mean, you know, one
I'm
of the
looking
sad
at these
things that happened. Listen,
These
return to
headlines.
sender.
Who says, like, return to sender, deported, but Haiti sent me back to Nassau? Really?
Yeah. But you know, so it brings up, you know, what happened this week. You know, obviously the funeral, very
Yeah.
sad occasion. I mean,
It
just to
is.
see all of those coffins just lined up. I really hope we don't miss the real story here. That you know, it's a human tragedy,
Yeah.
and somehow it needs to be fixed. It's not a Haitian problem. It's a community problem. It's also a Bahamas problem. So somehow we need to. I don't
It's
know,
a Bahamas
collaborate.
problem, and you see
Yeah,
people.
I mean, it is, Gita. I know you're frowning over there, but we also have to participate in finding a solution to
Yes,
this.
and work
because
together.
it's impacting us.
Because people experience problems with immigration and
Yeah.
looking at these things all over the world. And then you see Trump with his wall and trying to declare a national emergency and everything. But can I
that's
tell
not-
you a story that changed my life?
Yeah.
When I was on Gems in radio, one day Stephen Gay called me. He was also in news. And he said, Gandhi, let's roll. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. We got called out
That's probably why I was never in media.
far
Keep going.
out, and we had to walk about a mile. And there was a shipwreck, and there were some people who were obviously traveling from Haiti, and they were there on the shore. And I had to call in to do a live report. What I saw that day changed my life, and I say for people to risk their lives to
Yeah.
come this way.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're right, we
Yeah.
have to find
Yeah,
a way
definitely,
to
no
make
doubt
something
about it.
happen.
Derek's Billions, boy, that's also been doing the rounds on social media. Actually, it's been doing the rounds for maybe 20 years, eh? 20 years, it's a long, I don't understand that. I mean, it's got to be, you know, they always say where there's smoke, there's got to be a little bit of fire going on, but anyway,
little
that's,
bit.
you know, we're going to see what
Just a
happens with
little
that.
bit.
And of course, the
Yeah.
Outlook is next week. Are you going to make it to Grand Bahama for the Business Outlook?
I will definitely do my best because the outlook, it's enlightening, inspiring,
Yeah.
kind of like transformative. And I had an opportunity to speak on the panel one time. And just people in the room, they're always so blessed and they walk away with so much. So I
Yeah.
would encourage anybody, make it a weekend trip, have a good time.
definitely. Transforming Grand Bahama, so connecting resources, maximizing opportunities, and of course transforming Grand Bahama. The 21st edition of Bahamas Business Outlook next week, Thursday, February 21st at the Grand Lucayan Resort.
I know what I need to do. I need to share Bahamas at Sunrise live on Facebook right now because we normally have people from all over the world tuned in. And there is someone, Gordon Joyner, Judge Joyner from Atlanta, Georgia. He has a bridge named after him.
Really?
He's tuned in to Bahamas
you
at
serious?
Sunrise.
Is he tuned in because you're on the show today?
I'm
or he's
serious.
a regular?
I let him know
Okay, see, that's
that
what
we
it
would be
is.
on. But he's a judge from Atlanta, and he has an impeccable record and history, and he's watching right now from his hotel. So
right.
top of the morning to you, Judge Joyner.
Good morning,
and
sir.
happy birthday to you.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, so we got a heavy show today.
We've got a good show today. Empty Bowls Bahamas is here to talk once again about their upcoming fundraiser. That's going to be held, I believe it's next week, Saturday, but they're going to tell us all about that. It's always really a good initiative. We're continuing the series on Black History Month.
Yes.
And of course, we have Alpha Phi Alpha and Alpha Kappa Alpha. Listen, I have just been so impressed, you know, with every time I say the brothers and sisters, apparently I get in trouble, but, you know, the guys and gals from, from those two organizations, just really distinguished, beautiful. Got another really good friend on the show today, Peter Rutherford. Pete, see you in a second. I think we're doing that interview. But listen, really been impressed with this entire series, learning more about the historically black colleges and the
Yeah.
impact that they've had. literally on the world.
On the
Through
world.
their alumni.
And then we saw what was happening recently with Bennett College and how so many people stepped up. I see one church in Virginia, Alfred Street, they gave $100,000 to help Howard grads pay off their tuition, and then this HBCU. And so we have Bethune-Cookman. We're going to be talking about that today. And we'll find out about the 55th Annual Heart Ball.
55?
Yeah,
Okay.
55. 55.
Yeah, that's what it
And that's start before your time. So it's happening this Thursday, and Dr. Carlos Thomas discusses heart disease in children. You know, it's Heart Month, it's Love Month. We've also got your Alive weekend calendar, all of that and more.
Here we go.
But first, our first look at weather with the amazing, talented, prolific Dr. Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you to the lovely Gandhi this morning for that introduction. But first, let me say hello to Cat Island this morning and say to Miss Ruth Pinder and all those persons at the airport, and also Darrell Wood at Fernandez Bay had a great time over the weekend. In your first look at weather at sunrise, we do have a stationary frontal boundary across the Exumas, Cat Island, and we have low pressure just to the east of Cat Island and Salvo this morning. That low is going to move to the northeast, and that will pull that frontal boundary across the southeastern island sometime today, Meguani, Naga, Crooked Island. And we'll have the improvement over the northwest Bahamas as a high pressure build through the weekend. But today, we look at a mix of sun and clouds with a chance of a few showers, mainly across the central and southeastern islands. Your high temperature is 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, partly cloudy, a little on the cool side, and there's a chance of a few showers again in the central and southeastern islands. Your low temperature going down to 66 degrees Fahrenheit. And some region highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados, 81 and 76. In Jamaica, 76 and 68. In Trinidad, 87 and 75. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 82 and 69. Across North America, Atlanta, 61 and 47. In Raleigh, 66 and 46. In Miami, 79 and 66. Dallas, Texas, 68 and 48. And Toronto, Canada, 38 and 26. Great weekend so weather-wise, lots of sunshine, warm temperatures, slight chance of 1 or 2 showers, mainly with the central and southeastern islands. The low temperature daytime will be in the low 80s, at nighttime in the upper 60s. That puts you wrap on your first look at the weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Phil.
Thank you very much, Godfrey. Of course, I'm not jealous at all, but listen, Empty Bowls Bahamas is in its 11th year, but 10th event. Very pleased to be joined this morning by Jessica Minnis, committee member, Empty Bowls Bahamas, Jay Jones Mills, committee member as well, and Maxine Bethel, Great Commission Ministries. Of course, I know you guys very well. Good morning, ladies. It's that time of year again.
Good morning. Absolutely, Phil. Good morning. Good morning, Bahamas.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the history. I see we have the presentation in the back here, but again, this is the 10th event.
Yes, it is.
But you've been around for 11 years.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. How did it start?
All right. The whole concept started in Michigan about 20 plus years ago.
Mm-hmm.
John Hartman and Lisa Blackburn decided to make their students and the community more socially conscious.
Okay.
And what they did was to have the students make ceramic bowls,
Mm-hmm.
and then they filled these bowls up with soup. Actually used the bowls as utensils at a fundraiser, and the monies that were raised were given to a charity.
Okay.
Joanne Behag, our coordinator,
Mhm.
she saw this because she's an art lecturer, sculptor, and an artist, and she saw it in Michigan and thought this would work in the Bahamas.
Right.
So our committee, we got together, is all purely volunteer from the community, and we had the first one in 2009.
Okay.
And the concept behind this is that the empty bowl represents the hungry. And when you come to the event, right, you get the empty bowl, you fill it. And when you take it home, you remember the hungry in the Bahamas, and hopefully you'll make a difference in the lives of many people.
Yeah. We talk about, you know, people being hungry, and I would imagine folks out there would probably, really, you got hungry people here? Yeah, we actually do. I mean, how serious is the problem of hunger here locally?
It is serious. It is really serious. You have mothers, fathers, children on a daily basis. If you don't have places like the Great Commission to feed them, they're just lost.
But I tell you what, I mean, on occasion I have an opportunity to pass during lunchtime,
Yes.
you know, along Wolf Road, and the line.
The line, and that's a daily
I mean, it's really
something.
surprising. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And more so now with the loss of jobs. So you have persons even working and they can't make ends meet, so they just come to get some hot meal,
Yeah.
food to take home.
And sometimes that's it for the day.
That's it
That's
for
it for
the
the day.
day.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
it
So
for
this
the
is a
day.
really serious problem that we have.
It
But
is.
again, this is one of the solutions. I mean, other, of course, NGOs participate in this particular type of event. But there's been an evolution over the years. I mean, you guys are based now. I guess Queens College has become your home. But
Yes, it has.
where did you start?
Excuse me?
Where did you start?
We started at the former College of the Bahamas,
that's right.
at the Hotel Training
Okay,
College,
yeah.
and then it grew from there. And we heard about QC, and we decided to stay there because it's convenient, very easy accessible to individuals from all areas of New Providence, and so it has become our home base.
Home base, okay.
Yes.
Well, share with those persons who haven't had an opportunity to participate in the event, what can they expect next week?
So when individuals come, it's going to be on the 23rd of February. It's a Saturday, and it will be from 1 to 5. And at the event, you get a bowl. You get to choose the bowl that you would like,
Okay.
because all the bowls are handmade by volunteers and Mrs. B. Hag, who is a ceramicist as well. And you choose the bowl, and then you are allowed to choose the soup that you want.
Okay.
And the soups are locally made, and we have different restaurants donating the soups, and they will be there to serve the soup.
Oh, okay.
And in addition to the soup, you'll get a roll and some bush tea, like fever grass
Oh,
tea.
there you go.
Yes, and then you get to listen to the entertainment,
Okay.
because there's also entertainment as well. And so it's a place to come and meet your friends and sit down and be a part of helping to feed the hungry.
Well, of course, you know, people are going to want to know what type of soups you're going to be having next week, Saturday.
Well, just to tickle your fancy, okay, we've got a cassava grill, and they're making this roasted pumpkin with dried conch and breadfruit
Oh,
dumplings.
there you go. There you go.
Then we have Chef, and he's located, that's the cassava grill, and he's located on East Street next to the credit
Yeah,
union. Then we have Manuelo's, and they're doing a curried chickpeas with kale.
Ugh.
And that's on Village Road, Soldier Road, near Burger King. That's Manuelo's, Chef Gibson, and that was Chef Owen. And then we have Chef Sandy, who has a Sandy's Cafe in Doctor's Hospital West, and she's doing, of course, my beautiful conch chowder.
Oh, there you go.
And of course,
Fantastic,
we're
you
gonna
know,
have the
usual bits and pieces
pea
from there.
soup and
Yeah.
dumplings, because I think that has been one
You
of
know,
our crowd.
that's a staple,
Yes,
you
that's
know.
a staple, so you have to have that there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so
Well, I tell you what, I mean, you know, for somebody like me, you have bigger bowls.
Oh, yes.
yes,
But remember, the bowl is what you're going to take home.
Okay.
You're going to get your soup in a bowl,
Okay.
in a
all right.
styrofoam
Okay,
bowl.
styrofoam.
That you
Okay,
you can
gotcha,
take
gotcha.
home
and that's a
you
good
can
size.
enjoy.
Yeah, we keep that in mind because we know we like our soups, and so we have to make sure that
Yeah, some
you
of us
get
are tall.
Yes, so you have to get a tall soup.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, great,
Right,
excellent.
yes.
So Great Commission Ministries is one of the benefactors of the
Yes.
event.
Yes, we
How does this help on the various initiatives that you have?
Oh, it really helps us
Yeah.
because it's people like the empty bowl that make us
Yeah,
what we are.
yeah.
Okay, if
definitely.
it's not for people like them,
Mhm.
you understand, and the public,
Yeah, it makes it easier.
it makes it
It makes
much,
it
much easier. And we've been around from '87, and non-profits, everything is what
Yeah.
people will bring in.
And the same thing, that all the monies that we make goes straight into giving different charities some funding.
Yeah, okay, great. So that's just one of them.
And Great Commissions has been one of our major
Benefactors.
benefactors, but we've also distribute it to other local charities who feed.
Right. Excellent.
And
Right.
May I
Yes,
just say,
yes,
Phil,
yes.
I have one more enticing soup. It's a tomato soup with basil.
No.
All right, and this spicy tomato with basil, that's the Bush Kitchen.
Yeah.
And he's on Mackey Street.
Well, just the way you're talking with these things means we got to be there next week. Again, just give us the details once again in terms of what's happening.
Yes. All right. The event will be held at Queen's College from 1 to 5 p.m. on Saturday, the 23rd of February. And we're hoping for everybody to come along and join us so that we can give more funds to places like the Great Commission, the Salvation Army. And this year also we're going to give Head Nose, the other organization. We're going to give them some donations as well. But we also encompass places like the Homes for the Aged and the Children's Homes and people who are in need. Because we as a committee, we get together and decide, all right, we can help this person this time, that kind of
And of course,
situation.
even if you can't make the event, you can always make
A donation, that is
Yes,
correct.
please emphasize that. The ticket cost is a donation.
Right.
We're not saying that you're getting this for that,
Right.
although you're going to get this for
Right,
that kind of situation. Just remember that. And of course, when you take that bowl home, it reminds you of people who are hungry in the Bahamas, and hopefully you'll make a difference.
Okay, excellent.
Yes, could I just say thank you, Bahamas, for your support over the years.
Yeah, very much welcome. Listen, ladies, hopefully I can make it next week, but certainly everybody's invited. Empty Bowls Bahamas, the 11th year, the 10th edition, next week Saturday at Queen's College, watching Bahamas at sunrise. We'll be right back.
Thank you very much. Thank you again for having us.
Welcome.
Wait, that's Omar Little from The Wire. You think everyone is Omar from The Wire?
Wow, it's really nice to meet a fan.
It's like he's right here. I telling you he's being all type shows and stuff?
And you know, Rev Go Play plays a lot of good movies and TV shows.
Excuse me, can't you see we're watching something else? Rude.
Settle all your pop culture disputes with Rev Go Play. Watch, record, and stream all your favorite shows wherever you are. Free for all Rev TV subscribers. Rev, you and us together.
Good afternoon. First response. How can I help you?
I've been in an accident on West Bay Street. Can you send someone to help?
Yes, ma'am. A first response team will be there in 15 minutes. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, but a bit upset.
We're glad you're not hurt. Please, try to relax. Our team will take care of everything as soon as they arrive.
First Response provides immediate on-site service and support from the scene of an accident through the claims and repair process. And it's free to all Bahamas First insured drivers in New Providence, every day for any type of accident. If you drive and want First Response on your side, call 321-FIRST or visit bahamasfirst.com for the name of an authorized Bahamas First agent. First Response can't prevent an accident from happening,
But it can certainly ease your mind when it happens.
Bahamians who have graduated from historically black colleges and universities, that's HBCUs, in celebration of
12 schools, 5 islands, one big stage. It's here, the Music Project's 3rd annual high school pop band competition. Witness the nation's hottest high school bands in high energy competition. Saturday, February 16th at 2 p.m. at the Botanical Gardens. Come rep your school. Tickets are available at Airbrush Junkies, participating schools, cash and go, and online at tmpbahamas.com. For more information on tickets and participating schools, visit us on Facebook and Instagram. The Music Project, encouraging youth participation in the arts.
I'm Jennifer Basden.
Group Sales and Marketing Manager for Bahamas Air, and it's my pleasure to invite you to experience Houston. From out-of-the-world excitement at Space Center's Houston, the gateway to NASA's Mission Control, to the over 10,000 restaurants representing cuisine from more than 70 countries. Houston has it all. Come, experience Houston with direct service on Bahamas Air. For more information on flight and packages, visit bahamasair.com.
One thing, two things, blue thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right, and in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2, and after another sip of my Sumatra from Lewis and Steve's, we are ready to go. Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. If you've been watching our show this month, you will know that the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity and the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority have teamed up to highlight the significant achievements of Bahamians who've graduated from historically black colleges and universities, that's HBCUs, in celebration of Black History Month. Here to discuss this with us are Dr. Cindy Dorset, and she's a physician and Bethune-Cookman graduate and member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha. She's an AKA. And Peter Rutherford, he's the Director of Customer Service for BPL, and a graduate of St. Augustine's College as well. So that's wonderful. That's in Raleigh.
Yes, it is.
All right. And you are Alpha Phi Alpha.
Yes, ma'am. I am.
A proud Alpha.
Very much so.
I love it. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
So we were having a very interesting off-air conversation, but let's start with Bethune-Cookman, Dr. Dorset. The founder of Bethune-Cookman was the first African-American woman to head a federal agency. Tell us more about Bethune-Cookman and, of course, your experience there.
Bethune-Cookman, I think in terms of an institution, a university, first choice is absolutely excellent. My experience there, it really, I think, prepared me to be able to compete in the world against other students trying to get into medical school.
Right.
You know, I often tell them back in the day that I went to the University of the West Indies in Jamaica, there was a quota, and it was between only 5 and 7 students they chose.
Wow.
And to be able to get into that 5 or 7, you know, it showed that Bethune truly had to have done its work, you know, to prepare me to be able to be selected in that real small group. In terms of the experience there, you couldn't want a better, you know, I guess Peter can also agree with this, a small community. My classes probably was sometimes 7 students in my upper class. Now this was, you know, 20-something years ago, but still, you know, they boast to have that when I walked through the hallways. My professor called me by name. I was on a number. I was, hey Cindy, you know, how are you this morning, you know.
That feeling of family
So it
and community.
definitely was.
What inspired you to go to an HBCU?
I had in high school, I had a guidance counsel that went to Bethune-Cookman University,
Wow.
Mr. Mortimer, and you know, he was excellent with us. He was patient, you know, but he also spoke highly of his experience at Bethune.
That is
And
wonderful. I hear that so much of people who share their HBCU experiences, and then of course Greek life is something exciting on campus. Mr. Rutherford, tell us about yours. So St. Augustine's was started in 1868 at a very difficult and tumultuous time, just 3 years after, or 5 years after 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation, but just really 3 years after slaves were freed. So tell us about yours.
My experience at St. Augustine's was really established really so to give black folks back then a platform And my experience was really wonderful in that when I went there were 63 Bahamians went there in the fall of 1993, in 1989 when we went there. And the good thing that it allowed me to see that the fellow students at the big state schools, when we met together, they were being, their schools were prided of having CPAs and doctors. And what astounded me was these guys are studying from the same book that I did. So
That's
what that
powerful.
told me, that if they could do it, there's no reason why me attending a small HBCU couldn't do it.
So the universities all over the nation were studying the same information.
Same books.
Just a matter of conditioning, you know.
Yes.
Wow. So who are some Bahamian, did I say St. Augustine's earlier? St. Augustine's.
They call it St. Augustine, St. Augustine, St. Aug is what we're known for.
Who are some Bahamian leaders that we would know who went to your respective HBCUs?
Cindy?
Well, Dr. Haywood Cooper, the late Dr. Haywood Cooper, he went to Bethune-Cookman University and then medical school at UWI in Jamaica also. We have Patricia Minnis, who's actually the wife of the Prime Minister. She also attended Bethune-Cookman University and, of course, is an AKA. Mr. Ricardo P. DeVoe, he is the president and CEO of the Bahamas Primary Student of the Year Foundation. He too attended Bethune-Cookman University at around the same time that I did, as a matter of fact.
Wow, what about St. Augustine's?
Well, the legendary Tom DeBird Grant,
Okay.
sporting hero in the country. He
Absolutely.
was from there. And then the former Deputy Prime Minister, Cynthia Mother Pratt.
Really?
Mother Pratt was actually someone who really encouraged so many students to go there. We also have Dr. Fred Smith, Mrs. Shane Albury from the National Insurance Board. So there's quite an active alumni with several hundreds of us here.
So I think you both have given some good reasons to choose HBCU for tertiary education. But tell me again, the founder of Bethune-Cookman, you said served as an advisor?
Miss Mary McLeod Bethune, she was a powerful force to deal with, you know, in trying to promote education, in particular originally with the young females. And the school later blended with Cookman out of Jacksonville to become co-ed.
Right.
But Mary McLeod Bethune was actually an advisor to President Roosevelt.
That is fantastic.
You know, so it placed her in a position, to take advantage, to help liberate Black and lift Black at that time back in 1904.
I know this is such an interesting conversation, but we're getting ready to wrap. So I want you to leave people with your final points as to why choose HBCU, because I know you're an AKA, you're an Alpha. My friend Dr. Gordon Joyner, Judge Joyner from Atlanta is an Alpha. I know so many Alpha men. So why choose HBCU, or why choose Greek life? Because service is so important.
I think,
5 seconds, 5 seconds.
I think why an HBCU? Community, service, and academia.
Love it.
Okay, those are the key key aspects of what we're about. Firstly, as individuals, not just as persons who went to a specific school. And we now do that in our respective communities. We brought that back home.
Your top reasons.
Leadership. You know, when you look at, apart from what Peter has said, when you look, it sort of prepared you so much to take on a leadership position. You know, it concentrated on developing the person, the individual, and always it's giving back into the community, always is service.
Thank you for sharing this with us during Black History Month especially. And you heard that HBCU is definitely the way to go. Consider it today. So thank you for joining us at Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be back right after this.
Wait, that's Omar Little from The Wire. You think everyone is Omar from The Wire?
Wow, it's really nice to meet a fan.
It's like he's right here. I telling you he's being all type shows and stuff?
And you know, Rev Go Play plays a lot of good movies and TV shows.
Excuse me, can't you see we're watching something else? Rude.
Settle all your pop culture disputes with Rev Go Play. Watch, record, and stream all your favorite shows wherever you are. Free for all Rev TV subscribers. Rev, you and us together.
Good afternoon. First response. How can I help you?
I've been in an accident on West Bay Street. Can you send someone to help?
Yes, ma'am. A first response team will be there in 15 minutes. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, but a bit upset.
We're glad you're not hurt. Please, try to relax. Our team will take care of everything as soon as they arrive.
First Response provides immediate on-site service and support from the scene of an accident through the claims and repair process. And it's free to all Bahamas First insured drivers in New Providence every day for any type of accident. If you drive and want first response on your side, call 321st or visit bahamasfirst.com for the name of an authorized Bahamas First agent. First response can't prevent an accident from happening,
But it can certainly ease your mind when it happens.
12 schools, 5 islands, 1 big stage. It's here, the Music Project's 3rd annual high school pop band competition. Witness the nation's hottest high school bands in high energy competition. Saturday, February 16 at 2 p.m. at the Botanical Gardens. Come rep your school. Tickets are available at Airbrush Junkies, participating schools, cash and go, and online at tmpbahamas.com. For more information on tickets and participating schools, visit us on Facebook and Instagram. The Music Project, encouraging youth participation in the arts.
Grand Bahamas' biggest business conference. Be there Thursday, February 21st at the Grand Lucayan Resort at 8:30 a.m. Keynote address by Senator the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, Minister for Grand Bahama. Register now. Contact Margaret Aubrey at the Councilors Limited at 322-7505 or Merson Ferguson at the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce 242-352-8329 or register online at tclevents.com. Grand Bahama Business Outlook 2019.
Dr. George Halson Sherman was born on April 20th, 1937. He was a former senior consultant and the first Bahamian obstetrician and gynecologist. He obtained a Bachelor of Arts degree from Lincoln University and attended medical school at Howard University in Washington, D.C. He earned his Doctor of Medicine degree in 1965 and completed his rotating internship at Howard University. Subsequently, he spent time in the Medical Corps in the United States Army and obtained the position of First Lieutenant. In 1971, Sherman joined the Bahamas' healthcare system and was appointed to the Princess Margaret Hospital as a consultant in obstetrics and gynecology. He later served as consultant head of department before renouncing the position in 1989. Sherman was appointed as the first chair of the PHA Board of Directors in 1999. A Moment in Black History is brought to you by Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity and by the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority in conjunction with the Counselors Limited.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're at the halfway point of another Friday edition with Gandhi.
I am so happy
You're
to
known
be
by
here.
one name. You've arrived. You're just known by one name. What's your last name anyway?
Right. Phil?
No, that just won't work.
Dr. Phil.
Yeah, but just can't do it.
You know what? Thank you for all of the great things that you do for the community and your devotion to JA and so many other projects. And I remember when you served,
Thank you.
Yeah, with the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce, you
Yeah.
really branded that.
Yeah, thank you. That
Yeah,
was,
with
that
your
was,
service there.
You know, passion. You know, I'm, like you, passionate about this place we call the Bahamas.
Yes.
I say it all the time, and especially when it comes to, we talked about the headlines this morning. Some of them sometimes are not the best. But listen, you want to change the country? Change our youth. Yeah,
change
change our youth. It'll make a difference somewhere.
You talk about passion and purpose, and it's so good to connect with that. The music project happens this weekend, and I got to say hello to young Boris and Michelle, his mom, and a crew from Exuma is coming down. They have so many schools participate, and then they have an opportunity to go abroad and pursue their passion and do what they love.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I really
Listen,
like it.
We've got more.
Yes.
We've got more to come.
In our second half, we have Dr. Carlos
Dr.
Thomas,
Carlos
and he's
Thomas, yeah.
talking about heart disease in children.
Yeah.
I always am amazed when I see young children deal with these very heavy things. And we've also got your Alive weekend calendar. The music project is sponsored by Rev.
Yeah,
They're one of the title sponsors, so good stuff there.
And of course, the Heart Association is here to tell us all about the upcoming Heart Ball, which is tomorrow, which is Saturday.
And you know, our very own Brenda Knowles is going to be there of the fashion group. You know, you have those little mishaps sometimes with your dress or your zipper or your makeup. She's going to be there in a holding room just hooking people up.
Personally, but yes, I do believe they do happen. But listen, here's our second look with weather at sunrise with the G-Man, Godfrey Burnside. See, that's how you do it, really quick.
Right.
Just have to do all of that stuff.
Weather at sunrise. Brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
East Bahamas later today, causing some showers and possible thunderstorms. High pressure will be behind that system starting today. In your marine forecast, winds northeast to east at 10 knots or less, seas less than 3 feet of northwest Bahamas. Variable at 10 knots or less, seas less than 3 feet over the central and southeastern islands. On Saturday, the winds become southwest to west at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the northwest and central Bahamas, falling light and variable at times. Variable at 10 knots or less, seas less than 3 feet over the southeastern islands. On Sunday, they continue southwest to west at 15 knots, sea 3 to 5 feet over the northwest Bahamas, continuing variable at 10 knots or less, seas less than 3 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Your tides. You can expect a low tide at 10:02 this morning. Next high tide will be 3:49 this afternoon. Low gain tonight at 10 p.m. Sunset of 6:02 this evening, rises tomorrow 6:44. UV index 6, your water temperature 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Honeymoon phase for first quarter. Extended look, lovely weekend so weather-wise. High pressure builds across the islands, partly sunny. On the warm side, slight chance of 1 2 showers. Temperature daytime will be in the low 80s. At nighttime in the upper 60s. That puts her up in your phone. Look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to the lovely Gandhi.
Thanks, Godfrey. Wow, I have the best people inside this room with me right now. The Bahamas Heart Foundation is mending hearts and saving lives, and their biggest fundraising initiative is the annual Heart Ball, and it happens this Saturday. So here to tell us more is Yolanda Fernander, and she's the Heart Ball committee member. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
I love your red, and you know, I just had to get a little red myself just for this segment. So the Heart Ball, I've attended many times and I love it. There's so much energy. It is so fun. What can people expect this year?
The same. It's going to be exciting. We have all sorts of entertainment planned for you. We have 3 bands.
What?
We have the Ed Bryce Orchestra. You know, you can have that traditional ball feel. You know, with your partners, you can dance, you can waltz. We also have the Defense Force Dance Band.
They are phenomenal all the time.
Yes, and we also have a DJ that's going to be there. Our trusty DJ, he's always with us. And we also have another band that is going to be assisting us this year.
Well, I love it. That sounds like a party.
It's going to be exciting.
So this is like a ball where you actually get to party. and have a really good time. So what about the food? People always want to know.
The food is good. I can tell you we've already had samples.
Right.
And the portions are good, so people are not going to complain that it's too little. You
Too
know,
little
Bahamians
bitty.
like to say it's too little, but we got a lot of food.
Y'all hear that? 2 or 3 meats.
2.
Now, I know that you have a lot of prizes. There's a raffle, and everyone who attends, we want to encourage them to participate in the raffle because this is how you help to raise your funds.
Yes, you know, the ball tickets are, you know, somewhat costly, but I want everybody to know 98 cents of every dollar goes towards the children getting their heart fixed. And so we can always use a lot of money.
Wow.
This year we
98
have
cents of
12
every dollar.
On every dollar. Everything is donated.
Wow.
Even committee members buy their own tickets.
Wow.
So, you know, it's good for you to come out and support. The raffles are awesome this year. We got trips. We have a Trinidad trip with hotel accommodation.
Carnival.
We also have a cruise.
Wow. Yeah, people love that. And Trinidad is absolutely amazing. And they really have fantastic restaurants as well, too. But you know me, I'm a Hully Gully person myself. And some of the bands that you called, I know that they'll be playing that Hully Gully music.
Yeah, Soulful Groovers will have you dancing.
Right? Now, that was a good segue into, people always say, well, where does the money go? And what is the foundation doing? You are a very active foundation, so tell us primarily.
Listen, every year we have kids coming to us who need their hearts repaired. You know, people don't have insurance like they should, and so it's very costly. Each child could cost up to $100,000.
What's the age range
of
children
from
who
babies,
are affected? Really?
From babies, a couple days old to up to 12 years old.
And so you would provide assistance for the medication to help them with operations and all of that?
Basically, it's the surgeries that cost the most money.
You know what? So we're going to attend the ball. We're going to have a grand time. First of all, tell us where the ball is and I guess what time it starts, those kinds of details.
Well, the ball will be at the Bahamas Hotel.
Okay.
And we're going to start at 7, which will be cocktails, and then, of course, dinner is at 8.
Okay, and before we ask how people can donate other ways, I understand that Brenda Knowles of the fashion group will be there. I know I've had a time or two when something may have happened with a zipper or a little mishap, or I needed my makeup to be touched up after my lipstick disappeared. After dinner, she'll be there.
Yes, this is the first time we're having Brenda. She will be in a holding room, and so you'll be able to go in and have your makeup touch up, or if you have a little accident, things happen. You know, we like to wear these dresses that fit right to our bodies, and sometimes we have little accidents.
Well, you know, you say you have all that food, so
and all that food, we might have
want a button to pop, you know.
You might have to go in and check her out.
Yeah. So in closing, I wish we could talk about this all day. But in closing, what are the other ways for people to donate and, of course, reach out to the Heart Foundation?
Well, corporate sponsors can come in. They can always give us those checks. We take them every day, all day.
Where are you located?
We're located at West Bay Street in the Eves building, and it's right across from the Swiss bakery shop. So it's easy to find. And you can come in and give us checks. It doesn't have to be...
and you're listed in the phone book.
Yes, we're in the phone book. Yes.
Well, Yolanda Fernanda, it's certainly been a pleasure. I know that the annual Heart Ball, 55 years of doing what you do. You look good. You look good. Thank you for joining us on Bahamas at Sunrise. And now, here is your Alive Weekend Calendar.
This your boy Sovereign with your Alive Weekend Calendar. Enigma presents Once Upon a Time Costume Launch Party. Friday, February 15th, Mario's Bowling Palace. Concert grounds, gate open at 8 p.m. The 15th Annual Strive for Life Fun Run Walk 2019. Saturday, February 16th, Cancer Society. Fort Terra Centerville, registration at 6 a.m. Junior Achievement New Providence presents Open House and Family Fun Day, featuring music by DJ Snicks. Saturday, February 16th, Arawak Key, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Holy Cross Anglican Church, Valentine's Fair and Raffle. Saturday, February 16th, Church Grounds, Soldier Road, 12 noon to 8 p.m. The Music Project's 3rd Annual High School Pop Band Competition. Saturday, February 16th, Botanical Gardens, gates open at 12 noon, showtime 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Sir Victor Sassoon Bahamas Heart Foundation presents the 55th Annual Heart Ball, Saturday, February 16th, Bahamas, cocktails at 7:15, dinner at 8:30. Lusky's Productions presents Valentine's Soca Reunion, featuring frontline singers from Byron Lee and the Dragonaires alongside Visage, hosted by the Mighty Pencil. Saturday, February 16th, the Sports Center, 9 p.m. until. Offshore Sports Group presents The Players Ball, with special guest appearances by NBA stars and friends. Music by DJ Tank, Unruly AJ, and J-Mac. Saturday, February 16th, Bahamas Convention Center, 9 p.m. until. The Girl Guides Association presents Guide Week 2019. Thriving for better, today's girls, tomorrow's leaders. Church service Sunday, February 17th, Wesley Methodist Church, Grantstown, 3:30 p.m. Then on Wednesday, February 20th, there will be Who's Who, Scavenger Hunt. Stapleton School, 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And on Thursday, February 21st, the Rangers Sip and Create at Camp Discovery, 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. TCL Group presents the 21st Annual Grand Bahama Business Outlook. Thursday, February 21st, Grand Lacaille Resort, 8:30 a.m. Keynote speaker, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, Minister of Grand Bahama. Register online at tclevents.com or contact Merson Ferguson, Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce. That's your live weekend calendar. To have your event posted on the calendar, please don't hesitate to email kalbury@tclbahamas.com. Alive. Believe in best.
In the past, I've had a lot of issues with service, data service, drop calls. I was encouraged by a very close friend of mine to make the switch, and in doing so, my service has been impeccable. The data is very fast, it doesn't spool, it doesn't take long to load, so everything works beautifully. I like to know what my bills are, and it's important that I'm able to simply just pick up my phone and know what my bill is. The front line for the Valley Boys is comprised of about 200 members. It's very important because to be a successful leader, I need to be able to efficiently and consistently communicate with them. It works that way. It's beautiful. The data that you guys provide is flawless. I'm John Williams, and I believe in best.
Ajax Cleanser, 14 ounce, now $1.39 at Solomon's.
WTO membership will bring benefits to the Bahamas. These benefits include increased economic growth and development, increased opportunities for Bahamian exports, higher employment, better income for Bahamian workers, lower cost of living for Bahamian consumers, increased choices for Bahamian consumers, modernization in government services, and better relations with trade partners. These benefits, combined with progressive planning and execution by our private and public sectors, will produce a better life for Bahamians.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. As you may know, February is Heart Month, and we wanted to talk about heart disease in children. So we've invited back our resident pediatrician, Dr. Carlos Thomas, to come in and share with us. Dr. Thomas, good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. It's a pleasure being here.
Always a pleasure to have you with us. Always such enlightening conversations about how we can best look after the future of our nation, that is our children, whenever you're with us. Yes. This morning we wanted to talk to you about heart disease in children. And I don't know if that's something that happens often, because it's certainly not a conversation that's often had. But talk to me about what that looks like. Do we see cases of heart disease often in kids?
The answer is yes. So let's talk about heart disease in two different areas.
Okay.
There's what we call congenital heart disease, which means you're born with a heart defect.
Okay.
And then we can talk a bit about acquired heart disease later on.
Okay.
So heart disease happens in about 8 in 1,000 live births.
Okay.
That number has been increasing. In the 1930s, it was as low as 1 per 1,000.
Wow.
But many authorities are now reporting more.
Okay.
And I think I have a reason or a suggestion why that may be.
Why is that?
Perhaps diabetes.
Okay.
That's been on the increase.
Okay.
Now, the heart forms very, very early during pregnancy. As early as 22 days after you conceive,
Right.
the heart starts to form and starts beating.
Right.
So it's very important. And so if you're diabetic, for example, before you give birth, or before you get pregnant, pardon me, it increases the risk of heart disease.
Okay.
Congenital heart disease. And there are various forms. You've heard of hole in the heart.
Yes.
You know, it's called a ventricular septal defect or atrial septal defect. So the heart starts by being formed by two little tubes that fold over each other and eventually become 4 chambers.
Okay.
And so during this process, different things can contribute to abnormal formation of the heart.
Okay, all right. And then is there any way to make sure, or when your children are born, to kind of test to see if everything is okay with the heart, or is this something that you won't realize might be a defect until later on?
Well, let me take this opportunity to put a plug in for prenatal care.
Okay.
It's vitally important that as soon as you realize you're pregnant, you start your prenatal care.
Okay.
So an ultrasound can be done, and sometimes the heart defects, if it's significant, can be picked up even before pregnancy.
Okay.
Once the baby is born, the pediatrician, the doctor examining the baby, might hear an abnormal sound, which we call a murmur.
Okay.
Sometimes, though, you may have a heart defect without a murmur.
Okay.
And so for the last several years in the Bahamas, we've been screening all our babies who are born at the hospitals for heart disease. It's a very simple test that we do about 24 hours after the baby is born that can predict and point out those babies who may have heart defects, even though they appear normal.
Okay, all right, well that's good to know, and so certainly grateful that as a nation, as a culture in the medical community, we're taking those steps to do our part in medicine to prevent that. But certainly there are things that parents ought to be doing too, right? Because it's one thing to be born with a heart defect, hope to have treatment for it and treat it as best you can. It's another thing for us to grow up as kids and then do things that might hamper our heart or cause us to have heart issues later on. So let's talk about that. I know obesity seems to play a major role in heart issues.
So as a pediatrician, every opportunity I get to speak about obesity in children, I take it. It's becoming a bigger and bigger problem in our community. And for large part because of the availability of fast foods, and we don't eat properly. We eat too much sugar and carbohydrate. On top of that, we're more sedentary. We don't run around and play like children did in the past. We're home on our computers. So those things have contributed in large part, and our parents being very busy. In the old days, there was a grandma, there's an extended family that looked after you. So now we're rushing back and forth. So I'm very concerned about the rate of increase of obesity in our children. And we're seeing greater numbers of children with diabetes.
Wow.
I'm talking about type 2 diabetes, what used to be called adult onset diabetes, because in the old days, you got that as an adult.
Wow.
We're seeing children before age 10
Wow.
and after age 10 with diabetes.
Wow.
And that is certainly going to contribute to heart disease in the future.
Okay.
So it's very important that we combat this at an early age.
How do we do that? I think about just even the snacks that are available. I guess it just takes more time then to prepare things like fruits, make sure that they're eating vegetables and preparing those things rather than just going to something that's already prepared in a bag.
It takes effort, but it's very important. And
Okay.
you can start by being an example to your children. If you're eating bad foods and your children see that, they'll model that as well.
Okay.
So as a parent, you want to do that. And then earlier on when you're introducing the diet, in fact, let me go back further and talk about breastfeeding.
Okay.
It's been established that babies who are breastfed, there's less obesity in childhood compared to those who are formula fed.
Okay.
So I want to put a plug in for breastfeeding.
Okay.
But in addition to that, when you start to introduce solids to your infant, say 6 months, it's very important you get him or her interested in, accustomed to eating vegetables.
Okay.
So in the first 6 months to a year, when you start to introduce foods, you set the stage for the kind of appetite. You start to affect your child's taste buds.
Okay.
So it's very important that they become interested in having vegetables.
Okay. Okay. And then are there some kids that we say, well, she just big-boned it, or she might be born a certain size? My dad always debunked that argument. He said, star babies are born between 5 pounds and 10 pounds.
Yes.
There's not that much of a difference, and so there's no big children. But there are some people who are born who are a bit heavier. Is there something that they ought to be doing that can maintain that or can keep them healthy? How do we address those ideas in our mind that some kids are just bigger than others and that's fine?
Well, let me start by saying if you're bigger, if you're 9 pounds at birth or 10 pounds, that doesn't predict obesity.
Okay.
In fact, many people who are obese today were smaller when they were born. It has to do with your diet and your lifestyle.
Okay.
And the idea about big bones is not accurate. If your bones are big, it may contribute to 1 pound more than your neighbor, but not 100 pounds.
All right. Well, thanks for debunking that myth for us and reminding us that really healthy children and a long-term healthy life really begins with how we take care of ourselves overall.
That is correct.
All right. Well, Dr. Thomas, thank you so much. Always an excellent conversation when we have you, reminding, of course, our parents that there are some children born with heart disease. We're screening for that now as they're born here in the Bahamas.
Yes.
But, of course, we want to prevent heart disease later on. We've got to take a more active role in what we're feeding them and how we're encouraging them to exercise and live overall.
Well said.
Thank you so much. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be back with more after this commercial break.
Grand Bahamas' biggest business conference. Be there Thursday, February 21st at the Grand Lucayan Resort at 8:30 a.m. Keynote address by Senator the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, Minister for Grand Bahama. Register now. Contact Margaret Albury at the Councilors Limited at 322-7505 or Merson Ferguson at the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce 242-352-8329 or register online at tclevents.com. Grand Bahama Business Outlook 2019.
Quaker Oats, old-fashioned and quick. Now $3.79 at Solomon's.
So who really own an Nassau container port?
Boss, that's easy. The government.
I do.
I do.
Thank you.
I do.
I do. And one day, he will too.
I do. Knock knock.
Here at the Nassau Container Port, we've diversified our ownership to give hardworking Bahamians a piece of the economic pie. And we'll continue to grow so that we can give you a consistent return on your investment. That's our promise.
COB prepared me to be a leader by teaching me to work hard for what I want. I'm the first chief internal auditor at the University of the Bahamas. To me, that's an honor to be able to do that. I feel like I'm giving back to a university that gave me a start in my life. I'm Errol Thompson, and this is my UB.
Apply today at www.ub.edu.bs.
Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of Bahamas at Sunrise. Gandhi, it's always a pleasure.
I know, and we got to wrap, so I got to say happy birthday to Sherwin Gardner, Jerome Sawyer, Dion, the Butcher Knowles, Candace Cargill, Kirk Johnson, Carlos Palacios celebrates tomorrow as well, too.
Carlos, happy birthday.
And the Heartball, you got to be there.
Hardball.
Did you know the tickets are $275, but the surgery is $200,000 for each child, and they have 12. It's been great, though.
Yeah, listen, thank you very much. Listen, have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you again on Monday.
Thanks, Chris Tucker. Thanks, Charles. Thanks, everybody.